Hey everyone, it's Kandell. So I've been in Korea for a little over a month now, so I thought I'd do a little video vlog instead of a regular vlog. I'm finally used to Korean showers, so that's a good thing. Took me a little while, and I'm a lot more used to kimchi now. I actually kind of like it, which is funny because back home I hated spicy food, and I actually kind of like spicy food now. I'll eat like street vendor tteokbokki, and to a lot of Koreans it's probably not very spicy, but to me it's pretty spicy. I'm getting pretty used to dorm life. Back home I lived with my parents, so pretty nice because I could more or less come and go when I wanted. I didn't really have to ask permission to go out all the time. To have people over I had to ask permission. One of the things about dorm life that's kind of frustrating is at my university here in Korea, we have a curfew, and even though our building is co-ed, guys and girls are not supposed to be on each other's floors. Okay, so Korean fashion. Koreans dress a lot differently than most Westerners. Like, back home, I tend to wear more like low-cut shirts, just because, in America, you kind of dress to accentuate your best features. So I would wear, not like really low cut, but kind of low cut shirts. And here, if you show cleavage, it's like not really appropriate. So girls wear shirts more like this. I actually bought this today. Kind of weird. It's like all the clothes here, it's like for girls, it's really baggy up top. And then you wear like mini skirts and tights or leggings, short shorts. Shorts over tights and over leggings is really popular here, which is kind of nice. The shoes here are really cute, so it's kind of obnoxious going past a shoe store because Koreans do not have feet as big as mine. I'm like literally one size too big for shoes here, so that's kind of really obnoxious because the shoes are just so cute, and they're totally the shoes that I would wear back home too. I brought 2 pairs of heels to Korea because I knew that I was positive I wasn't going to be able to find shoes in my size just because it's Korea. The people are much smaller than I am in general. And so I thought, if there's any events that I need to dress up for, I want to have, heels if I need them. And I tried wearing them last week, and it just totally did not work at all. Number one, I am at least 5 inches taller than the average girl in Korea. I'm 5'10", so most of the girls that I've seen have actually been around 5'3", and a lot of them even shorter, and they wear heels, and they're still, at least 5 inches shorter than me. And I'm a lot taller than a lot of the Korean guys that I've met. So, my roommates kind of teased me about being a giraffe, which is why I got the cell phone charm, because we saw it and we were like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Oh, so as you may have read on my blog, a few weeks after I got here, I went to a salon and I got hair extensions. Remy, 100% human hair, you can kind of see them here. I actually kind of have to get used to them, and they're a little bit tricky because I got these extensions bonded in rather than like clip-in extensions or anything like that. So about an inch or 2 from my head is where the bonds are. So I can't brush my hair along the scalp. I have to start at the end and then get close, and I have to do it in layers and sections. And straightening my hair is really difficult. In retrospect, I probably should have gotten a magic straight treatment or something, because my hair is naturally very curly. And then, especially after the bleaching accident, when it gets wet and it dries in this really weird, crinkly way, and it's really, really difficult to work with. Oh, in a few weeks is the Dream concert in Seoul, and I'm really, actually, the tickets go on sale, I think, tonight at midnight. Don't quote me on that. But my roommates and I are going to see if we can get tickets. And if we can, then we're going to go to Seoul and go to the concert. my roommate Jennifer has an aunt that lives in Seoul, and she said that she would be willing to, reserve our hotel for us and get everything sorted out, so we wouldn't actually have to worry about that because her aunt speaks Korean fluently, and obviously we don't yet. So, if we can get the tickets, we're gonna go for the concert weekend. If not, I think we're gonna try and go over the weekend of Buddha's birthday. Really hoping the dream concert tickets go through because basically every Korean pop band is going to be there except for the one band that I wanted to see most here, like while I was studying, and I didn't see their name on the list. The list said, Beast and 2PM and many more, but I didn't see their names, so hoping that they're there, but they might not be. And if they're not, I still really want to go and see the other bands because they're bands that I really like. So I haven't vlogged about this just because it's kind of been a sore subject for me, but just over a week ago, one of my Korean friends took me to get my phone, and I decided to go with a contract because in Korea, you don't actually pay for the phone, you just pay for the contract, and after a while, the contract basically pays for your phone if you have it long enough. And so I got the Samsung Galaxy S2. The problem is that the weekend after I bought the phone, my roommates and I went to Busan for the weekend, and I fell into the ocean with the phone in my pocket. So, right as soon as we got back to our dormitory, because we were only there for the day, I put it in rice, I took the battery out and everything, took apart as much as I could, and put it in rice. And it dried out, and now, I'll show you. Take the case off. It's still connected though, because I had a cell phone charm on it. Really cute little giraffe charm that I bought in this really, really cute shop just across the street from university. Okay, so it turns on and everything. That's it on. But it takes a lot longer to turn on than it did before. And then once it actually gets to the startup screen, you'll see the problem. Okay, so it gets to my awesome wallpaper of Lee Min-ho. The problem is that the touch screen doesn't really work. So I turned the camera so you guys could see, but it's my webcam and laptops aren't as angleable. Oh, I have a new text. That's great. Then I could access it. I haven't turned this thing on in a couple of 11 new cacao messages. That's fantastic. 2 new texts. And an event invite from Facebook. That's fantastic. Well, it's kind of working. The problem is that, okay, so the home button works, but the touch screen doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm thinking what happened is that when it went in the ocean, salt water got in it, and when I put it in the rice, the water all evaporated, but there was still some salt left in the phone, and salt is very corrosive to metal, so tomorrow I'm going to be going to the Samsung Service Center in Shinji and seeing if they can fix it. So, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but if you are going to be traveling abroad, alert your bank ahead of time, and you might have to send them a reminder because a few days ago I went to get some cash from the ATM because I haven't been able, I have a bank account here in Korea. I had to get one to get my student ID. So, I have that, but I actually got it right before class and was actually late to my class because the bank was so busy. So I haven't had an opportunity to get any information for wire transfers. So I still have to use global ATMs because Korean cards are very different from American cards. So the other day I went to use my card to get some cash and it wouldn't work. And I was really worried because I was positive I had money in my account back home, but it wasn't working and like it got rejected at 2 different ATMs. So I went back and I emailed my bank and I was like, so I'm studying abroad and I can't get my money and that's a problem. And today I went just to see if it would work and it did. So yeah, if you're going to be studying abroad or traveling abroad for an extended period of time, definitely give your bank like warning ahead of time and possibly like after a few weeks like send them a reminder, because I've been here just over a month and up till now I hadn't had any problems with it. It's just, kind of out of the blue. Korean weather. If you've ever been to Korea, then you know what I'm talking about, probably. It's spring right now, so I was expecting, nice, very moderate weather, sunny, a little bit chilly maybe, perfect jacket weather. It's not. The weather here is so bipolar because, you wake up and the morning is really cold. And then by midday, it's like, today it was really, really hot. I actually didn't wear this today, but I wore a pair of leggings, like that came just past the knee. I wore shorts and then I wore a tank top with a sweater over it. And after my noon class, so about 1:15, it was so hot. We went outside to go get lunch and it was, we were sweating. It was really bad. But then, we came back and we spent a couple hours in the dorm and we walk out and it's like cloudy and overcast and there's like a really cold wind. And, none of us were expecting it because we just, it hadn't even been, an hour or it had been about an hour and already it was, such a huge change. So I'm not sure how Koreans manage to be comfortable all the time. Maybe they aren't comfortable all the time. Maybe they're just really good at hiding it. But, you walk around and you see Korean girls wearing the shortest shorts that you've ever seen. And it's like cold and rainy and windy and they're just walking around like, Oh, I went to the Cherry Blossom Festival at my university. I wasn't really sure to expect, but I was kind of a little bit disappointed. The cherry blossoms were beautiful. The trees were amazing, and the grounds at this university are gorgeous. They're very, very well kept. I don't know how many people are employed to, be sweeping and weeding out because they're like everything here, especially now that it's fine. Things are finally blooming. Everything is green. It's so pretty. So the trees were great, and there like a whole street of the university was set up with food vendor tables and booths where you could buy stuff. There were picnics all over the place. I have a feeling that if I was on a date, if I had a boyfriend or something to be on a picnic with, then it would have been a great event. Or, maybe if I knew more people, or maybe if I was younger, because I saw a lot of families there, and the kids were having a blast. Like, all the people that were there, they were having a great time. And, one of the English clubs in the area, they had a fashion show, and they had a karaoke competition, they had a dance competition, and it was a lot of fun. Makeup in Korea seems to be a huge thing. Just across the street from the university, there's a Beautyplex, there's a face shop, there's an Eratom, there's an Etude House. I'm probably not pronouncing these the way Koreans pronounce them, but Korea is definitely very, very concerned with physical appearance. You can go to basically any shop and get like little face masks. This one is collagen essence mask. I've not used any of these ones yet. I'm trying a couple different ones out. I used a Phytonside mask the other night, and that's alright. And I used a pearl essence mask, and they're very moisturizing. They actually do work pretty well. But like false eyelashes are all over the place. They're pretty cheap too, and I went shopping at one of at Nature Republic when I was in Daegu last time, and I got This eyeliner, I'm currently like seriously in love with it because it's so easy to use. It's like a felt tip marker, and you just can go. And recently, before I came to Korea, I started getting more into nail art. So when I was at HE House last, I saw this, and I totally had to get it because I was like, oh, glitter! I can do so much with that. And I did really cute nails. It was like hot pink, and then I used the glitter to do kind of a French tip, and it looked really cute. And it actually lasted a really long time. But when it started to chip, I was like, all right, I need to do something different. And I went to take off the nail polish, and the glitters, like the little sequin thingies, did not want to come off. It was actually really difficult to get them off. So I ended up removing like the pink, and then just kind of chipping away at the sequins, and that probably wasn't the best thing for my nails, but it worked. People back home may not know this term, but if you've ever heard the word aegyo, it is everywhere. Aegyo is kind of like a Korean term for cutesy, and girls here are very, very aegyo aware. Would that be the proper word? I mean, like, it's kind of annoying for me being around it just because I'm not used to girls acting like that in the States. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing at all because, you know, it's a different culture. Of course, people are going to act differently. But, you know, I'm accustomed to girls in the States who want to be sexy or hot and not so much cutesy. And in Korea here, it's very much more cutesy. Like, the cutesy is more widespread than the hot or the sexy, which I'm very not used to. It kind of goes beyond clothing and like makeup styles with like how girls act, like just kind of the way they say things, like they're kind of childish. And again, I'm not saying it's like bad or wrong or anything. I'm just very not used to it. So being around it and like seeing it a lot is very different for me. Sometimes I actually get kind of uncomfortable around it because, you know, just being around it so much. Korean guys, you know, at least in Omaha, guys are not very fashionable. From what it looks like, at least, they don't put a whole lot of thought into their clothes. It's very different here. A lot more guys dress fashionably, and I don't mean wearing like trendy clothes. I mean like they'll wear, you know, button-up shirts, and they'll wear cardigans and jeans with like coordinating belts and shoes, and then they style their hair like and guys' jackets here are really, actually, I really like them because they're very unique. They've got, you know, these funky collars, they've got like asymmetrical zippers and hooks and buttons, and they're really cool. But yeah, Korean guys are very, very different from most of the guys that I know back home. There's also like a lot of the guys that I've met have been very, I don't know if chivalrous is the right word, but they act more like gentlemen than a lot of the guys I know. Because, you know, in America we've got the idea of feminism, so I think, and I mean this is just personal experience, but I think a lot of guys are kind of like, you know, oh well, if you want, you can just do that yourself. But then, you know, guys here, they kind of have the mentality of taking care of girls. I went to Solman Market with one of my buddy and one of her friends, and like while we were there, you know, he was, if there was a moped, he wouldn't just say, you know, look out. He would like physically, you know, guide us out of the way. And like at one point, he actually stood between me and this guy who like just sped by. And you know, guys just really seem to be interested in taking care of other people. So it's nice. I kind of wish more guys acted like Korean guys. But, you know, again, that could just be, you know, that's just my experience. For all I know, every guy outside of this university or every guy outside of the circle that I've been talking to is a complete jerk. I think that's all I've got for now, so, annyeong.